To speak to the legislation, the chair recognizes Representative Chatfield.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to the bill that's before this chamber today, and I appreciate the comments made by the representative from East Lansing and our previous conversations we've had regarding this bill. I also want to thank the senator from Escanaba for the years that he has put into the formation of this bill and his efforts on behalf of the residents of the Upper Peninsula in the state of Michigan. And I'd also like to thank the governor for bringing Enbridge to the table and holding their feet to the fire and ensuring the solution that we're presenting today is not paid for by the taxpayers of the state of Michigan. Now, like many of you, since being elected into this office, I've heard from my constituents, I've heard from those who live outside of my district on the importance of protecting our Great Lakes and our energy resources and our way of life. The fact is, I live in northern Michigan. This pipeline runs through the heart of my district. And this is not just a part of our economy in northern Michigan. This truly is our heritage we're talking about. Now, I have the opportunity, with the same lakes and rivers that I swam in and fished in as a child, and many of you as well, to now take my 5 children to the very same lakes and rivers. Because protecting our Great Lakes is our responsibility. Protecting our way of life is our responsibility. This is not a Republican or Democrat issue, and no one in this chamber, including myself, should make it one. But I do want to bring us to where we are today in the history behind Line 5. Many may not know this, but over 60 years ago, before the line was constructed, these energy resources, which are essential to our daily lives, were still being transported. Many of these resources were being transported by barge, or by rail, or by truck. And when that was deemed not a safe enough mode of transportation, much of the public pressure led to a pipeline. And when pipelines are properly maintained and inspected, they remain the safest mode of transportation. Over 70% of the oil and natural gas liquids transported across the entire country are done so by a pipeline. But that brings us to today. Many try to simply phrase this as an Upper Peninsula issue or as a Northern Michigan issue. The fact is, this is an issue facing our entire state. Michigan has the highest amount of residential homes in the country, with over 300,000 that utilize propane and these energy resources. These energy resources that are utilized to heat our homes, to help us feed our families, and serve as basic elements of survival. This pipeline and the energy resources that flow through it are utilized by hundreds of thousands of Michiganders every single day. And we need to protect these energy resources. We in this chamber, with the plan that's before us, cannot wait any longer, because doing nothing is not an option. It is our responsibility to protect the health and well-being of every person that lives in this state. This is the right solution. This is a new chapter for the state of Michigan in protecting our natural resources and protecting our Great Lakes and our entire way of life. And I encourage all my colleagues in this chamber to vote yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.